Remember to pick up some gas for the iron, said no one in 2021. But in the 1920s, they might have. The 1920s were a real transitional time for American culture and society. For the first time ever, the US Census showed that over half the population were living in urban areas, so in cities and towns, rather than in farming communities. The introduction of factory-made, mass-produced clothing meant that wardrobes could be easily and cheaply updated for the daring new styles for both men and women. The introduction of the car meant that people were moving into communities with paved roads, into new houses built with garages. And a new way of powering the home was being introduced into cities and towns all over the country. And that was electricity. Electric appliances like refrigerators and washing machines promised folks that there would be more time for relaxation and leisure in the future. And so this artifact that I have in front of me that was donated by the descendants of the Bassett and Masters families that lived in Birmingham is kind of a transitional form between the old smoothing irons of the past, which were made from, shocker, I know, iron, and these had to be heated over a stove or a fireplace. They're extremely heavy. They're great for, an 1800s arm day. And later on, we would have our modern day electric irons that are corded and powered by electricity. So this is a gas iron, and it has so many advantages over the old school smoothing irons. For one thing, it's self-heating, so you don't have to be by an external heat source. Back when you're using one of these puppies, you have to light your fire or a stove, and thus maybe heat up your whole home just to take care of your clothes. With this can be taken anywhere. You could take it to a mountaintop, to a beach, or even your backyard during super nice weather. And it also had a wooden handle, which is very important. This one does not. It is made out of the same material as the rest of the iron, which means you have to pick this up with a cloth or some sort of heating pad so that you don't burn your hands. So this was actually much safer than the old school irons as well. And unlike an electric iron, you don't have to stay right next to an outlet either. So the portability was actually a great selling point because at the end of the 1920s, gas-powered irons like this one here were on the market at the same time as the electric irons. And so they kind of competed for the same market share of consumers. So the one we have here has its own base so that when you set the iron down, you're not setting it down on something flammable or something that can burn. And this right here is where the fuel is stored. And we have a knob on the back that controls the amount of fuel that's entering into this bottom chamber where it's ignited and produces the heat to smooth your clothes. Now, this one is a Coleman No. 3 model, and it came with the fuel pump here to put the fuel into the canister. And it also would have come with a fuel can as well. Now, we don't have that in our collection because, once the fuel in the can was spent, most people threw it away. So this is really cool. It's very complete, and it gives us a really great insight into how people in the late 1920s and early 1930s might have gone through their everyday tasks at the time. In 2021, our culture is going through another shift. Nowadays, our clothes come out of our electric or gas-powered dryers without a need for an iron. So what was once a common, super everyday appliance is becoming a little less common, and the market for the buying and selling of irons is actually decreasing. And who knows where we'll be in another 100 years when it comes to taking care of our clothing. Thank you so much for joining us on this artifact short here at the Birmingham Museum, and we'll see you again next time.